So, you've made it to C1 Spanish. You're fluent, you're confident, but you feel like something's missing, right? Your grammar is perfect, but your writing doesn't have that flair. Well, that's exactly what we're going to fix today. We're opening up the Advanced Stylist Toolkit to show you how to take your Spanish from just being correct to being genuinely compelling. Okay, let's just dive right in. Take a look at these two sentences. On the left, it's totally fine. Grammatically, it's 100% correct. But look at the one on the right. Terminado el informe, los directores se fueron. It just sounds better, doesn't it? It's more concise, more elegant, it flows. That's the upgrade we're talking about today.
So here's our game plan. We're going to break down 3 essential tools that are going to get you there. Participles for setting the scene, gerunds for connecting the action, and infinitives for naming the idea. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to use them to make your own Spanish really stand out.
First up, let's talk about the absolute participle. Honestly, this is like a secret weapon for starting your sentences with style. It lets you frame the main idea with incredible efficiency. Okay, the formal name sounds a bit intimidating, but the concept is actually pretty simple. All it means is you're taking a whole clause, something like once the meeting had finished or after the report was written, and you're shrinking it down into a really neat, powerful little phrase. Let's look at this in action. Terminada la reunión. See how that works? It does all the heavy lifting of saying una vez que la reunión terminó, but in a much more polished way. And notice how terminada agrees with reunión. That's a key signature of this elegant structure. And here's one you will hear all of the time in formal speeches or academic writing. Dicho esto is the super sophisticated way to say that being said or having said that. It's a fantastic little phrase for transitioning from one point to the next. All right, tool number 2 in our toolkit is the gerund. Now, you already know the basics, but at the C1 level, we use it to seamlessly weave actions together, adding this rich layer of circumstance and detail. So what this really means is that the gerund helps you show a super close connection between 2 actions. It's basically answering the question how or while doing what for your main verb, making your sentences much more dynamic and fluid. Check this out. Habiendo analizado is such a C1 thing to say. It's a much more formal and direct way of saying después de analizar los datos. It links the analysis, the thing that happened first, directly to the conclusion it makes possible. Very slick. But, and this is a big but, there is a major trap with the gerund. It's an error that so many advanced learners make, and it can be a real giveaway that you're not a native speaker. Let's make sure you're not falling for it. And here it is. Look at that incorrect sentence. Entrando en vigor al día siguiente. This is called the gerundio de posterioridad, the gerund of posterity. And it's a huge stylistic no-no. You just can't use a gerund for an action that happens after the main verb. So, this is the golden rule you absolutely have to remember. The action of the gerund has to happen at the same time as or before the action of the main verb. That's it. Never, ever after. Okay, on to our final tool, the infinitive. But we're not talking about just using it after another verb. At this level, we use the infinitive to do something much cooler. We turn actions into powerful abstract concepts. The fancy word for this is nominalization, and it really is a game changer. It's how you take an action, a verb, and treat it like a thing, a noun. This technique is all over formal and academic Spanish, and it gives your writing a much more analytical feel. This old proverb is the perfect example. We all know the verb saber, to know, but here, el saber isn't the action of knowing anymore. It's the concept of knowledge itself. See that shift? It's subtle, but it's incredibly powerful. And once you know what to look for, you'll see this everywhere. From classic sayings like, querer es poder, to want is to be able, to modern news headlines. It just adds this layer of intellectual weight to the idea. So there we have it. 3 incredibly powerful tools to take your Spanish to the next level. Let's just do a quick final recap to put it all together. Here's your cheat sheet. Think of it this way. Use the absolute participle to set the scene. Use the circumstantial gerund to connect the action, and use the nominal infinitive to elevate an action into a concept. If you can master these 3, your writing is going to have a whole new level of sophistication. The real takeaway here is this. These aren't just dry grammar rules. They're stylistic choices. They're weapons in your writing arsenal. So the next step is to start looking for them out in the wild. Read articles, listen to speeches,
Then, get brave and start weaving them into your own work. It's time to stop just communicating an idea and start crafting it.